Oh, hello again, and welcome to another spooky season video. Now, last week we scrolled through Pinterest and found 5 simple, easy Halloween recipes, and they were great. So I figured we'd do the same thing again this week, but with sweet recipes. But our video last week did end up being over 20 minutes long, and that's a bit long. With a busy schedule of haunting and mayhem, you probably don't have time for that. So I thought this week I would try and keep the recipes even simpler, and I'm gonna break it up into 2 different videos. So here we are. Oh, and hi, I'm Val from Very Vegan Val, and today we're gonna do part 1 of Sweet Vegan Pinterest Halloween recipe hacks. First up, we're gonna be making some spooky spider webs. We've got our pan lined with parchment paper, and we're just gonna make these little sort of stars with 6 spokes for our webs. They like to move around on you. All right, I'm gonna have to fix this because now I have to delicately move that out of the way. Got a microwave safe bowl. And we're just gonna melt this in 30-second increments in the microwave, stirring in between. One thing the recipe didn't do, but that I like to do, is to just add a touch of oil. It just helps you get a smoother melt. Another thing the recipe did not have you do was to temper the chocolate. If you do not temper your chocolate, it won't be like hard and shiny at room temperature. I'm not great at tempering, but a trick I use that sometimes works is once I've melted my chocolate, I add a small amount of this chocolate, which is already tempered. And don't melt it again, just mix it, and the residual heat of the chocolate should help it melt in. Got a small piping bag here, and we're just gonna transfer our chocolate into it. And then we wanna cut just a very small hole in our piping bag. Start in the middle, and you're gonna get a decent amount here because you wanna keep it all together. And then they had you just do circles around. All right, there we go. I'm gonna try with this one, like this, and then do a circle. Ooh, oh no, oh no. Okay, and then I'm gonna try to do like that, because I feel like I'm not doing well. It's harder in some directions than others. Okay, maybe not the greatest. I'm gonna put these in the fridge so that the chocolate sets. Now that we have our web setting, we're gonna need a tenant for those webs. And I have the perfect idea. Let's make these super simple lollipop spiders. The original recipe had you use Tootsie Pops, but those are not vegan. So we're gonna use Dum Dums. This one's definitely much more of a craft than a recipe. We got these for the legs. I think that'll be good. I'm gonna cut them in half. And now I have 4 pieces of pipe cleaner. So I'll choose my lollipop, mystery, obviously, and then just wrap them around maybe a couple times. Let's see, we want our legs to be even. Here we go, I think that's good. And now we're just gonna splay out our legs to look more spidery. Cute. Then they put some googly eyes on their spider, and I just feel the need to point out that this is not accurate and spiders have 8 eyes, but there's also clearly not room on here for 8 eyes. So, I mean, I don't even know if there's room on here for 2 eyes on a piece of paper, because hot glue guns get glue everywhere. Tiny blob of, oh no, oh, I hate glue guns. Okay, tiny blob of glue, and we need to get it on its face quickly. It's already dried. Not good. Okay. Next time we'll try the eyes higher up. I will say, once you sort of get a flow going, these are pretty low fuss. Here we go. Eye time. Just a plop of glue here, and then both eyes at once. And let's take a moment here to talk about Halloween candy and tampering. Every year you see warnings about razor blades being found in apples or psychos drugging and poisoning children en masse. And obviously you do want to be careful and protect your children. However, you can relax a little bit because it turns out there is very little truth to any of these claims. A lot of the hysteria around Halloween candy and tampering actually comes from the 1980s and the Tylenol poisonings. This happened in the Chicago area where 7 people actually died after taking Tylenol that had been laced with cyanide. And while this crime has never been solved to this day, it is actually a lot of the reason that products like Tylenol all have tamper-proof packaging. Another incident that really helped inspire this fear of poisoned sweets is that of Timmy O'Brien, who unfortunately died after consuming Pixie Sticks that were in fact also poisoned with cyanide. It was, however, quickly discovered that those Pixie Sticks were not given to him while he had been out trick-or-treating, but rather by a sadly much more common culprit, his own father, who had recently taken out life insurance policies against him. With that in mind, let us now seamlessly transition back into the food-related portion of this video and make these cute little ice cream cone witches caps. The first thing we're gonna do is just put a cookie down as the base of our hat. So these are just like an old-fashioned oatmeal cookie that was store brand that just happened to be vegan. Now, the pan I'm basing this on actually like cooked a cake in their ice cream cone, which I'm sure is great, but you know what seems a lot easier? Ice cream. I'm gonna put a little bit of chocolate at the base of the cone because delicious, and also I have it. Now we're gonna take our ice cream. I softened it a little bit in the microwave. Try and fill this cone all the way. I've also seen people make this recipe with like candy in the cones, which is fun. But then you cover them in chocolate, and a lot of these recipes, you just end up coating things in chocolate. You know, it's fine, but I just don't want to do that like 18 times or 5 times or whatever it ends up being. All right, now we're gonna place our cone on top of our hat, like so. Repeat. Now we're gonna try to make them black. So I have this teeny tiny little spritzy bottle, and the only hard alcohol I could find, which is the dregs of this strawberry vodka. And this is real strawberry vodka, by the way, like made with actual strawberries. Now I'm just gonna try and get a little bit of this activated charcoal I have into that bottle. Okay, we got some. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Messy, 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 messy. Activated charcoal is always messy. I want to really reiterate that I've never tried this before and have no idea if it will work, but we're gonna try to just spray these black. This is going really good, guys, really good. This is my fault because I looked at the recipe and I followed none of it. Oh, okay, okay. Oh no, clogged. So we're gonna have to try a different approach. Now, I think the original recipe suggested you use, I don't know, some kind of product intended for this. Dip my brush directly into the activated charcoal. Woo! Well, my goodness. I do worry that I'm not working fast enough and things are melting. We're gonna call that absolute mess good enough. Lastly though, we wanna add a brim to our hats. So I'm going to use these Twizzlers and I'm just going to wrap it around the hat like this. And we'll just seal it a little bit of chocolate there. Gotta work fast cause we're losing hope and everything's melting. No, don't come apart. Panic is setting in. Into the freezer. Finally, let's finish things off with a simpler and healthier option, some banana ghosts. You know, after that panic, I really do need something kind of easy. So, here we go, bananas. Let's just do 2 of them. And we're just gonna cut our bananas in half. I actually think that might be too tall. So I'm gonna kind of level them out a little bit so I think they're gonna stand a little better. I've got some candy eyes. These are ones that I made because, you know, they can often have like ingredients that you don't want in them. Like this is a double eye. I'm gonna put that on this banana. Boo. I don't know if it looks like a ghost. And I think for the other ones, I'm gonna use chocolate. And you know, you could also just call those eyes, this little chocolate dot the eye. I think that's what the original recipe did. And I'm gonna put these in the fridge just for a couple minutes, not long, but just to help that chocolate harden. And just like last week, we're gonna be evaluating our recipes on 1, if they're easy, 2, how effective they are in looking spooky and Halloween-y, and 3, how much do I actually want to eat? that snack. All right, guys and ghouls, we're gonna do our witches' hats first because they're ice cream and they really should be in the freezer. As you can see, my belts didn't work so great. They didn't want to stick. Color, different on each one, and none of them were a great success. I think if I could have gotten the spray working and it wasn't jamming, that would have been excellent. Oatmeal cookie, pretty good. Nice. There's no good way to eat that neatly. It sort of involves some dissection, but I'm gonna stick it back in the freezer. For visual effectiveness, I'm gonna give that a 2 out of 5. I think firstly, I would have needed to have selected a larger cookie to really get the ratios correct for the witch's hat. But then also, I think we were really let down by my creative attempt at coloring. For ease, again, not great. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. Again, it was kind of my own fault because I decided ice cream was gonna be easier. It wasn't easier. If you do this yourself, just do the version where you enrobe it in chocolate. It will look nicer and it probably will be easier in the end. Do I want to eat it? I always want to eat an ice cream cone. However, I think the Twizzler actually kind of detracted a little bit from that. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. My ghostly little bananas. So these are bananas. They're probably gonna taste like bananas. So I made my own eyeballs and I actually flavored them with vanilla and rose. And that sugary vanilla rose actually goes really well with banana. Ease, 5 out of 5. This is easy. Effectiveness and spookiness, 3 out of 5. It looks a little goofy and it mostly just looks like a banana. Taste, it's all in the eyeball, right? So I feel weird doing this, but I'm gonna have to give that a 4 out of 5 because that was really tasty. Yeah, oh, a strange 4 out of 5. Spider dum-dums. Obviously, I'm gonna go for the mystery flavor. But before we do that, let me just say, in terms of visual effectiveness, 4, I think it's fun. Ease, once you get like the hang of it, 4, it was easy. Taste. What is that mystery flavor supposed to be? Like raspberry? Fruit mix? Ice cream? I don't actually really like lollipops that much myself, so I would give this a 1 out of 5 on the taste. It is just a dum-dum. We haven't really elevated it at all, but it is a fun little craft, and I don't know, maybe I'll be giving these out for Halloween. Okay. Last but not least, our spider webs. They're holding together really well. I would say this chocolate is actually fairly well tempered, given my lackadaisical approach to it. And I think they're cute. I give them like a 4 out of 5 on the effectiveness scale. And in terms of ease, I did take a few more steps that made it more challenging, but ultimately, no, it was still pretty easy. Like maybe a 4 out of 5 on ease. 5 out of 5. Chocolate plus pretzel. Very good. It's also actually a very nice ratio of chocolate to pretzel. And that is it for part 1. Let me know, which was your favorite Halloween recipe / craft? And where do you think I messed up the most? Because my black stained hands say it might be in the activated charcoal. Other than that, if you liked this video, please give it a like. And if you want to subscribe, you'll be the first to hear when part 2 comes out. Ciao!